You might have realized our outcome is pretty much complete. If this was an assessment, hopefully you'd have some form of planning that you could double check. And all the way through, you should be marking off what you've done and what you need to do. In some cases, it's perfectly fine to change your planning, like when we said we don't need to fill in any fields for our advanced search. In my nice to have, I do have the cards. I've also noted that it would be really nice to show users how many characters they have left when they're adding an entry, but that's not something that I have time for today. If I have a quick look at the documentation, a reminder that we do need to have test plans and evidence that things like our add entry works. And it's perfectly fine to grab a screenshot of our test data and show that all of the fields are required. And in this case, I was able to show that the entry was added successfully. I then have evidence that putting in a language that didn't exist is also successful. And the final thing that you'll need to do is make sure that your HTML and CSS validate. It is inevitable that when you do the assessment, your HTML won't validate first time, and you may well need to make some fixes. So here's an example of an issue that occurred and some evidence showing that I fixed it. Wanting to spot check something like your add entry page, an easy way to do it is to get the page on your screen, go Control U, which will let you see the underlying HTML, copy the HTML, go into the validator, use the direct input method, paste in your code, and check that it validates. All going well, you should see no errors or warning. If it does give you an info, if it's green, it's okay. If you want to make it perfect, you could go back into our input boxes and remove those trailing slashes. A reminder that if you're using Project Space, it's absolutely fine to validate your index page using the Validate HTML and Validate CSS buttons. For any of the other pages, what you would do is you would navigate to the page, go up into the URL, copy the URL, go into the validator, and choose to validate by URI and paste the address in. And as you can see, that was successful. Once you're confident that all of your pages validate and that your CSS also validates, it means that you've completed this tutorial series. Well done. You're now ready to move on to the assessment.